joining us for our cash tag segment here, focusing in on Tesla. Andy, I'm going to let you take it away because you got some big news here on Tesla. Excited about this one, I'm sure. So let us know what you're seeing.
Yeah, Tesla's one of our favorite names. Historically, have done extremely well on this company, mostly because there's so many naysayers that really help drive and fuel short squeezes higher when the company does beat. But when we looked at LikeFolio data for the company, I was really struck. It's the largest, highest quarter of consumer demand that LikeFolio has ever recorded for Tesla. And that's saying a lot because it has ramped up considerably over the last 2 or 3 years. And so this is the number of people talking about purchasing, leasing, taking out a loan to buy one of the Tesla products. And what's cool about this, when we looked at the brand level, we see that this is really led by the Model 3, which you would expect, because like Jenny was talking about, it's becoming more and more affordable. But we're also seeing success in the Model Y line, significant growth there, catching up really quickly. They have some quality control issues with everything that they do, but they seem to get away with it, and the Model Y is no exception. And then we're even seeing upticks in demand around pre-orders for the Cybertruck. And so that's still probably over a year away, if not more. And so it's interesting to see Tesla continue to show this level of consumer demand growth. Very consistent, like Jenny said, the deliveries correspond with our data. Global registrations correspond with our data in that Tesla is absolutely dominating, global electronic vehicle market share. And there's a big world out there. And like Kevin said, I think these price reductions are just bringing more people into the Tesla fold. And if you talk to anyone that owns one, they almost always say they'll never buy another car. And so he's got good reason to try to get people into the tent early.
Yeah, Andy, I'm glad that some of your data agrees with what I'm thinking, because Elon Musk isn't really competing with anyone with price. He's
Right.
really making his own world more efficient. There used to be an old saying, don't worry about the competition. Make yourself as good as you can be and let the competition worry about you. Andy, from my perspective, and I'd want to, hear you expand on this. Is that what Elon Musk's doing? He's ignoring basically the competition and just making his product and his company the best it can be.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I think that there's also another angle here in that, Elon Musk has a really big vision. At least that's what he's always said. And all things point to that. And so he's not just trying to create the best product or competitively priced product. He's actually trying to get the world to change to an electronic vehicle and electric transportation. And so when you have a mission that's that big, and I really think that he does have that mission, then it makes sense to try to bring people into the fold, even if it cuts into your profits in the near term. And so I think that's where Elon Musk is. It's not someone that I would bet against. I've been saying this for 2 or 3, maybe 4 years. This is a guy that understands rocket science and wakes up every morning trying to figure out how to crush short sellers. I mean, that's not the type of guy I want to bet against, and I think it's foolish to do so. Now, is Tesla overvalued? I mean, any metric you look at, the stock is really high, but like we've talked about so many times on this show, expensive stocks tend to stay expensive because most of the time they're expensive for a reason.
And so, Andy, that's really the question. I couldn't agree with you more about the leadership of Elon and kind of the visionary that he is. And you can't, shrug off the success that he's already had here with Tesla, with SpaceX, of course, one of the founders of PayPal. We know what that company has become. So you look at this, the guy has had success. You can't deny that. But that chart, and this is where it always comes back to, and this is the point you're making here in terms of the value of the stock, the chart comparing Tesla to the other automakers surely, Tesla is growing at a different rate, and it's got a different story for the long term. But this stock isn't priced like an automaker. This is the story on the future. Is that still kind of the point that a bullish investor has to have, Andy, when they're looking at Tesla? This is a change on the change of the world, not just electric vehicles, but electric maybe everything.
Yeah, I think that's what's so crazy about Tesla. When it was $36 or $40 and we initially got bullish on it, one of the things we said was this is a binary bet. And what's crazy about that, it's either going to work or it's not. And so what's crazy about that is now even at $420 is still a binary bet. I still believe that that's true. And so you can see how these things can take some time to play out. Always your risk is down to zero. The one thing, there's a couple things I will say. We do have that phenomenal growth in demand, off the charts, highest LikeFolio has ever recorded. I will say that for the current quarter, which is just a few weeks underway, it is a little softer. And so you think about that when you think about the guidance the company can give. The other thing that gives me a little trepidation going into this report is the fact that Elon is hyping up the full self-driving feature rollout right before the earnings event. And a lot of times, at least historically, I've noticed a pattern of pulling something to the forefront that is more visionary when maybe the numbers won't be quite as rosy as Wall Street expects. And to change that conversation preemptively to their full self-driving capabilities being rolled out is an interesting move, I think, a few days prior to an earnings release.